Welcome to It's Not Just Menopause, the podcast that empowers you to navigate midlife with confidence through real talk, root cause insights, and no BS strategies that actually work. If you're dealing with fatigue, stubborn weight, brain fog, or just feeling off and overlooked, this show is for you. Discover what's really going on with your hormones and why it's not just about estrogen. Each episode breaks down what your doctor didn't explain, the internet got wrong, and what your body's been trying to tell you all along. From stress and metabolism to nervous system support and functional nutrition, we'll cover the tools that help you feel more like yourself, again, without restrictive diets, overwhelming plans, or hormone hype. I'm your host, Cindi, functional nutrition practitioner and certified menopause specialist. I'm here to guide you through the midlife noise so you can stop guessing, get the clarity you deserve, and finally take back control of your health. If you've ever felt dismissed, overwhelmed, or like your body just isn't responding the way it used to, you're in the right place. Let's rewrite the menopause story without the fluff. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of It's Not Just Menopause, the show where we ditch outdated advice, dig into root causes, and finally make sense of what your body's trying to tell you. Again, I'm Cindi, functional nutrition practitioner and certified menopause specialist. And if you've ever said, why do I feel so puffy all the time? My digestion is a mess, even when I eat healthy. I'm doing everything right, but I still feel foggy, exhausted, and inflamed, then this episode is for you. We're diving into what I call Inflammation Nation, the state of chronic low-grade inflammation that so many midlife women are stuck in and don't even know it. Today I'm pulling back the curtain on how inflammation becomes the silent driver behind the symptoms we're taught to either ignore or medicate away, like brain fog, belly bloat, burnout, skin flare-ups, or pain that moves around your body like a game of whack-a-mole. If you've been told your labs are fine, that it's just menopause, or that this is normal for your age, I want you to know this. Your symptoms aren't random. They're rooted in something deeper, and you deserve real answers. So let's get into it. Let's start with the basics, because most of us were never really taught what inflammation is. Inflammation is your body's built-in emergency response system. Think of it like the fire department showing up when there's damage. It sends immune cells, increases blood flow, and creates heat to repair injuries and fight infection. That's acute inflammation, and it's a good thing. It helps us heal. But here's the problem. In today's world, your body is exposed to constant low-level stressors, from poor sleep to blood sugar swings, environmental toxins, processed food, and chronic emotional stress. When those stressors pile up, your immune system never gets the all-clear signal, and that's when inflammation becomes chronic, a silent fire that never fully shuts off. This is especially important in menopause because estrogen and progesterone help regulate the immune response. So when those hormones decline, your body becomes more reactive to stress and slower to recover. The threshold for inflammation gets lower and the fire burns longer. And so what does this mean in real life? You start noticing slower recovery from workouts, puffy hands and feet, weird symptoms like skin itching, food reactions, and mystery pain, and feeling inflamed even though you're eating well. And most women are told this is just aging. But in reality, this is your body waving a giant red flag. Before we get back to today's episode, I've got a quick question for you. Feel like your body's in chaos, but your labs are normal? You're not crazy, you're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. If you've been told it's just menopause or to wait it out, it's time for real answers. Take my free quiz, What's Really Driving Your Menopause Symptoms. In under 2 minutes, you'll uncover your top hidden stressor and get my free guide, The Menopause Stress Fix, sent straight to your inbox. Head to cindistickle.com/quiz or click the link in the show notes. If you're doing everything right, but still feel like a mess, this quiz is your next step. All right, let's get back to today's episode. So let's go deeper into how this shows up, because it's not always obvious. Inflammation isn't always a swollen knee or red skin. Chronic inflammation often looks like vague, persistent symptoms that get brushed off. Here are the signs I see most often when I work with clients. Digestive issues like bloating, gas, or irregular bowel movements, especially when you eat foods that used to be fine. Fatigue that doesn't match your activity level. You wake up tired, you crash by 3, and caffeine doesn't help like it used to. Brain fog and memory glitches. You lose your train of thought mid-sentence, and you walk into a room and forget why. Puffy face or fingers in the morning, especially around your eyes or joints. Mood swings or irritability that feel disproportionate to what's happening. Skin issues like hives, acne, itching, or rashes, especially when stressed. This was happening to me right before I quit teaching. I was going to work every day and broke out in hives. So that was a big red flag. And sleep disturbances. You're exhausted but wired, or waking up multiple times a night. And here's the thing, these symptoms may not show up on your labs. Your doctor may say everything looks normal, but you know your body is not functioning normal because you know it. You know it feels off. So you're not imagining this. And if you've ever said, I feel like I'm completely inflamed, or I just don't feel right, you are probably living in inflammation nation. And that is one thing why I went down that functional nutrition road, because now I know how to read labs, and I read my own labs, and I'm like, no, this isn't right. Because my doctors always said, oh, this looks good, but I was like, no, something's wrong. And so that's what I incorporate into my practice is if it needs to be, we look at labs. And because a lot of women think they have Hashimoto's because their lab comes back that, but you don't have Hashimoto's until your doctor actually diagnoses you with Hashimoto's. So don't self-diagnose yourself. I have had Hashimoto's for 24 years because I have a multinodular goiter on my thyroid. I had a needle biopsy. I had a radio uptake scan. So I know I have Hashimoto's because I got something growing on my thyroid. And but many women just see the labs and they're out of whack. Well, no, my background in nutrition, besides functional nutrition, but I also have 4 other different nutrition trainings that all these trainings actually add up to more time than I spent actually getting my master's degree. And I don't have the student loans like I do with my master's degree. But with the nutrition, if you're under eating for decades, it throws off your thyroid and it makes it look like you have Hashimoto's. So when people say, oh, I cured my Hashimoto's or my hypothyroidism, no, it was you never had it in the first place. Your numbers were off because of what you were eating or not eating if you're under eating. So labs are important, and I do that with everybody now if they need it. So, and I can even order the labs that your doctor won't order for you. That's why I run my own labs, because the doctor never orders what I need to see. So let's talk about where inflammation is actually coming from, because it's not just bad luck or aging. Inflammation has drivers, and most of them are hidden in plain sight. So number 1 is blood sugar dysregulation. And you hear me talk about this a lot. If you've been following me for a while, I'm always talking about insulin resistance and blood sugar. And if you're in my 8-week group program, you're hearing it a lot there. I'll be running it again, but not at beta pricing. So I'll have a link for you to get on the wait list. But blood sugar dysregulation, this one is big. Every blood sugar spike, and that comes from skipping meals or eating carbs alone. Okay, carbs are not bad, but when you eat them by themselves, okay, it triggers an insulin response, which fuels inflammation. And over time, your body becomes less efficient at handling glucose, and you stay in a state of metabolic stress. And then number 2 is environmental toxins. Oh my gosh, I have 20 years of background in environmental toxins, so I could talk forever on this. From plastics, pesticides, and processed food to scented candles, dryer sheets, and personal care products, your liver is constantly working overtime. And when it can't keep up, Toxins recirculate and trigger an inflammatory immune response. Number 3, gut health disruption. Menopause changes your gut. The lower stomach acid, food sensitivities, dysbiosis can all lead to a leaky gut, where the intestinal lining becomes permeable and undigested particles leak into the bloodstream, activating immune response. So when they say leaky gut, they literally mean leaky, because it is leaking into your bloodstream. Number 4 is chronic stress and nervous system dysregulation. This is the one most women overlook. When you're in a constant fight or flight mode, rushing, people pleasing, worrying, especially in this country, the U.S., and the political state we're in and we're going to be in for the next 3.5 years, your cortisol stays elevated. And your cortisol, while anti-inflammatory short term, becomes pro-inflammatory when it's chronically high or dysregulated. So you need cortisol on the short-term basis, but when you're in chronic stress and your cortisol stays high all the time, it actually is causing more inflammation. And number 5 is overtraining or undereating, like I mentioned before. Yes, even healthy habits can become inflammatory, like inflammation triggers. When you're pushing your body through intense workouts while undereating or under recovering, yes, you have to take time off from working out. It keeps your system in a stress state. None of these are isolated. They stack, they build upon each other, and your body can only take so much before it starts to break down and scream at you through the symptoms. So, how can you start calming this inflammation? So now for the part that most women never hear, you don't have to go on a 30-day cleanse or eliminate everything to lose that you love, like all your favorite foods, just to reduce your inflammation. Our body has organs that cleanse naturally. They will get overloaded though, but the kidneys and the livers will cleanse our body. A 30-day cleanse is not good for your body. And do not ever eliminate anything, any food groups, entire food groups especially. Yes, if you have an allergy or an intolerance or something that you can't eat, yes, don't eat that. However, cutting out carbs is so bad for your body because your body needs nutrients from every food group. And your body gets 100% of its energy from carbs. So, and I'm not talking just bread kind of carbs, but like vegetables and all that. It needs carbs because if it doesn't get it from carbs, it steals it from the protein. So now the protein can't build your muscle mass because it's going to the energy. And your brain needs carbs. So if you have like a brain fog and stuff, it needs those complex smart carbs. So don't cut out carbs, okay? But what you do need is consistency, nervous system support, and strategic nutrition. And this is, I am like the root of everything is nutrition. So here's where I have my clients begin. So we anchor your blood sugar. We start your day with protein, fat, and fiber every time. You ditch the granola bar or banana-only breakfast. And your hormones depend on blood sugar stability to keep inflammation in check. I've said this before. My husband is a type 2 diabetic, and one time he was wearing one of those glucose monitoring things on his arm just to try it. And he ate a banana, and oh my God, his sugar spiked instantly. And then it went back down again. And so now he eats bananas with protein so that it doesn't spike like that. But yeah, you do have to be aware of what you're eating and how it will affect your body. I can't eat white flour breads and like bagels because I have a sugar crash within 30 minutes. Plus now I avoid gluten altogether because of my thyroid, so it's just not that good for me. Number 2, reduce inflammatory inputs. Choose one swap at a time. Make that switching to a clean lotion, ditching the fragrance plugins. Oh, those are so toxic. Please stop using them. Or replacing vegetable oils with avocado. Please, these are the only oils you should be using. Olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil. Do not use any of the other ones because they are just toxic. Okay? And believe it or not, these small steps will add up over time. Prioritize your nervous system recovery. If your body feels stuck in high alert, inflammation won't budge. Use tools like deep breathing, walking outdoors, magnesium baths, or simply getting to bed on time. Rest isn't lazy, it's anti-inflammatory. Okay, and again, talking about rest, rethink your workouts. If you're sore for days, constantly tired, or seeing no change in your body, it might be time to shift from pushing harder to training smarter. Strength training, mobility work, and walking are deep healing. Okay, there is that old no pain, no gain that was so 1980s and it's just very bad for your body. That's how you get injured and it just makes it worse. And then give yourself permission to slow down. You can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. This doesn't mean giving up. It means tuning in. So your body is asking for less stress, not more discipline. So remember, the goal isn't perfection. It's lowering the total load on your body that it has to manage so that it can finally exhale. Okay, so you're lowering the total load that your body has to manage. So if you've been living in what feels like a mystery illness, if your symptoms feel random or disconnected, or if your doctor keeps saying everything looks fine while you're feeling anything but, inflammation might be the missing piece. And you're not lazy and you're not broken and you're definitely not imagining this. Your body is super smart. It's talking to you. And now that you understand what it's saying, you can start to respond with nourishment, with nervous system care, and with a deeper kind of support that you've been given. Okay, so yes, just take care of your body. So if this episode is speaking to you and you don't know where the stress hits in your body and what kind of stress, I'm going to put the link for my stress quiz in there, and it's free. It takes like 2 minutes, okay, and it gives you follow-up things to do for each of the different types of stress that you might be in. There's 4. I'm also going to put the link for my hormone reset clarity call. It's free. I can, plan out something for you. It's not a sales call, but I can help you right then and there, okay? Because inflammation, if you're stuck in inflammation, you will not ever heal, okay? Think of it, I was on another podcast one time, I said, think of it as like a sore that never heals. That's what's happening inside your body. Your body is like got this open wound and it's never healing when it's in inflammation, okay? When it's inflamed. So we want to fix that, all right? So thanks for listening, and I will be in your headphones next week. Thank you for tuning into It's Not Just Menopause. I hope today's episode gave you real clarity about what's actually going on in your body and reminded you that it's not just your hormones and it's definitely not your fault. If you found value in this conversation, make sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Cindi Stickle Nutrition, or head to cindystickle.com for more resources and personalized support on your menopause and midlife health journey. Until next time, keep questioning what you've been told and trust that your body is not broken. You just need the truth and the tools that actually work.